We are back at our familiar Homewood Suites here over by Munster, Indiana. Looks like our nutsedge problem is mostly cured up. They just cut though, but there's one here that got carried away. Look at this one. Oh no, where are the nutlets? What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. So this video is the first in the series that I'm doing in a collaboration with Jake the Lawn Kid, where we found a lawn here in Northwest Indiana and we're doing a complete fall rehab on it step by step. The idea here is that the steps that we're doing and the steps that we're completing are following along with my hybrid organic lawn care program that's designed for cool season lawns. That's Kentucky bluegrass, rye, and turf type tall fescue. Now, for those of you that really want to follow along, I've also got a free supplement guide that goes along with this series of videos that you can pick up by clicking the link in the description below and signing up for my weekly newsletter. It's my tip in your box every single week, but it's also your key to getting more written information as well as cost of everything that we're going to do in the series and the actual property map so you can follow along closely. Remember, clicking the link in the description below, sign up is free. Now, as many of you know, this is a collaboration I'm doing with Jake the Lawn Kid, and so he's actually already put out a video that you should go watch because it gives you some context behind things, shows him renting the aerator, all that kind of stuff, because he had to do quite a bit of legwork before we even got started. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna talk through real quick the property map that we're gonna be going over and kind of some of the philosophies that we're gonna use in a couple of the different areas. Okay, so the first thing is, it's a 30,000 square foot property, but when we got there, the homeowner told us that he was gonna have a pool installed here either in the fall, but probably next spring, and because of that heavy equipment's gonna come in here, they're gonna have to put in retaining walls in through here, and all of this is gonna get ripped up. So there would be no need for us to treat any of this side of the lawn over here. So just realize when you're watching things, I had expected to be doing 30,000 square feet, but we're actually only doing about 14,000 when we look at the lawn areas that we do have open to us. Now, the lawn was seeded in the spring and they used a straw covering, and in most cases it came in pretty well actually. The homeowner did a really good job watering apparently, or they got a lot of rain, or both. And there's a lot of slopes here, so I was actually really impressed with the growth that they got just based on how much there's a slope here. But we do have a lot of thin areas, we got a lot of patchy areas, we have a lot of areas where it didn't take. We are going to need to address some spots with something a little bit more than just aeration and overseeding. We'll talk about that in a minute too. Either way though, you can see we did make a property map. Now Jake's already measured this, I just made the official map, and again, this is in the guide for you with a little bit more context right here about the strategy and everything. But you can see we've got section 1 here. This is what I'm calling the main portion of the front lawn, and this is about 1,000 square feet, and it's fairly flat. This is riddled with weeds. There's not very much turf in here, so this is, and it's also obviously it's what you see right when you come up the driveway. So this is the $100 view right here, and this is the main area that I really hope that we can turn into something good, which I know we can. Section 2 is down here, and now this is a bottom of a hill. Section 3 is almost an entire slope. So bad that we really couldn't get the aerator up or down it at all safely. The homeowner is able to mow it. He was having to mow up and then back up with his riding mower, but I think now he's going around this way, which, you know, a little bit of a challenge. So either way, the slope itself took pretty well. The bottom of the slope is in heavy shade, dense shade. So we did do some seeding down there, but I'm not expecting much to take. There's just too much competition. We did go ahead and still do full overseeding in here, as well as starter fert and Milo, but instead of using a core aerator, we used Air8 liquid aeration on the hill. I'm not really going to be able to tell you if it works or not, because it's not going to be anything to compare it to, but we did use it there, and so we will see what kind of results we do get. Section number 2, this is where I'm testing the next products. They have a new line that they've put out. It's a seed starter. It's a 901 green start. It also comes with some other things. We'll go over that in a minute. And so what we did down here in section 2, which is 1,000 square feet, is we did Air8, and then we also did the 901 green start, and then obviously heavy overseed. We sprayed the Aerate and green start right on top of the seed. Okay, now the green start starter pack, it actually comes with 1 gallon of a 901 green start, 1 gallon of RGS, my favorite, and 2 gallons of the 1801 green punch. But when you're starting out, the only thing you really need is the 901 green start. Now we'll go into this a lot more in the future. If, again, I'm not trying to sell this right now, I'm actually testing it, just seeing how it works. I'm gonna test in some other areas. It is available in the shop though, because I know there's those of you that, you know, you just like to go crazy and get stuff ahead of time. But I'm not really able to support this yet because I'm just learning it myself. I just know that I love love the Green County stuff. So when it comes to this section right down here, section 2, which is 1,000 square feet, so we did our overseeding, 7 pounds per thousand, then we went to cool season turf here, and we went with the low rate of 16 ounces per thousand. We sprayed that right on top of the seed. Now the reason I didn't add any RGS is because you're gonna see that it's already here. Urea, ammonium nitrate, sulfate of potash, ferrous sulfate, linardite shale, whatever that is, Asaphyllium nodosum. I need to definitely check in on that one. Humic acid, 8%, cold water kelp, 1% as growth stimulant. So it's already in here. So when you get it all together like this makes a pretty powerful little 4-pack here for a lot more than just seed starter. I mean, this can be a really nice low nitrogen fertility product that you could use in the summertime if you wanted to. Obviously RGS, I put this on everything, including my breakfast cereal. And then the 1801, once my FERT bans are lifted, I'm gonna go crazy and blanket the earth with this stuff. And I'm not telling you to do that, and I'm not telling you should do that, and I'm not telling you to go off a label. I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do, because I'm a nut. Now, as I had mentioned, section 4 here in the back, it got traditional aeration. We did a double pass there, back there, not a triple. Overseeding, 7 pounds per thousand, Milo and starter FERT, just like we had talked about. The only difference is back here, we actually sprayed Hydratane. It's a chemistry that gets around the roots and basically not only retains water, but absorbs water out of the air. And they'll show you, when you see their demonstrations, you can see it actually happening. The guy blows his breath on it and absorbs the moisture right out of his breath. So either way, this is a pretty cool product. We did spray this in the back. I won't have any way to test anything or anything like that, but basically the homeowner probably isn't going to be able to water all of this back here, even though they do have a pretty cool tractor sprinkler. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to get watered much. So we put the Hydratane back there. You know, you can call it a test. I won't be able to show you any comparisons or anything, but we're just messing around with it. But I am going to prepare some more, you know, scientific type tests. As scientific as I get. But anyway, some more scientific type tests that we'll play around with that there later on. Okay, and now the Patch Master. So they're not, I paid for that. You can see if you have the guide, I paid 20 bucks a bag. The thing with the Patch Master is it's just something I've always used that works really, really well. It does have its own seed embedded, so if you're worried about like pureness of seed and stuff like that with whatever else you're using, then you're not going to want to use this. There are alternatives. But the reason I like the Scott's Patch Master is because of the contexture of it, and you get it really, really thin, and it's very, very sticky, and it retains water. I've never seen anything work better, and I used to use it when we used to burn lawns at True Green, which happened more than people want to admit. I was the guy that would always volunteer to go out and do the repairs, and I would just take out a bunch of our seed, I would coat it down pretty heavy, and then I would put the Scott's Patch Master over the top. I would do one single water and water it in, and I would come back in 3-4 weeks and we would have grass there. And I know the homeowners didn't water. I know they didn't. Okay, one thing I do want to say really quick here about the guide, and it's one thing that I know is going to strike up controversy, so I'm just going to address it now, and that is the amount of seed that I tell you to put down. Typically, with the seed that we got here from Drew at Seed Superstore, the recommended is I think 4 pounds per thousand for a general overseeding of a lawn that's generally thin, and that's about normal. 4 pounds per thousand is about what most seed blends and most seed manufacturers are going to recommend. However, you've heard me say it before, and I'm going to say it again. Seed is cheap, so throw her down, baby. So you're going to find that I recommend a 7 pounds per thousand, and that'll work with fescue, bluegrass, pretty much everything. 7, 8 pounds per thousand. Probably not any more than that, but definitely get up there with that 7, 8 pounds per thousand seeding rate. Now I realize that goes against all of the conventional wisdom, it goes against all of the university studies, it can invite disease, it can make competition, there's not enough nutrients in the soil, they're all gonna fight over water, disease is gonna spread because things are too close together. I get it, I understand all of those things could happen. Personally, I'd rather hedge my bets, because with the experience that I have of working with homeowners all these years, not only now through the channel, but when I worked with True Green, here's some things that I do know for sure. So the first thing I know is that no matter what, you're gonna get a hard storm at some point, and you're gonna have some of your seed wash away. That's the first thing I know. The second thing I know is that birds are gonna come and eat up some of your seed. The next thing I know is that your boss is gonna yell at you on day 6 after your seeding, and that's gonna make you depressed, and you're gonna drink a lot, and you're gonna be hungover on day 7 all day, and you're not gonna be able to water that day. Then you're gonna get called out of town to go on a last-minute business meeting for the next 3 days, and your lawn isn't gonna get watered for 5 to 6 days. Right in the middle of your grow. Right about that time, you're gonna have to take homecoming pictures on top of the lawn because, you know, I mean, you gotta have homecoming pictures in the lawn. And then the next weekend, your drunk uncle's gonna do donuts with his 4-wheeler right in the middle of your grow. Now, of course, I'm just being funny here, but you get what I'm saying, right? You have a life here, you have a job, you have things you have to do, and you're gonna miss a couple waterings. Now listen, if you're that perfect meticulous homeowner, which is probably about 10% of you, then you should go ahead and stick with the recommended 4 pounds per thousand seeding and just make sure that you water, 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 water. All the way through, especially if you have KBG, you better keep watering all the way through like day 30. Hardcore. But if you're the typical homeowner with a kid, 3 spouses, and 4 dogs, well then you know that things are gonna get busy and you're gonna miss some steps or you're gonna miss some days and some things are gonna happen and you're gonna want that extra seed there to hedge your bets to make sure you get enough to grow in to actually see the results you want. And so that's why I recommend that heavier seeding at 7 pounds per thousand. Get it spread out there. You'll see that when I do it, I kind of shove it into the thin spots right out of the spreader there, but I'm spreading it pretty good. You definitely don't want it piled up on itself, but it's okay to be able to actually see the seeds that you're putting down. I would just like to say really quick, we do have a few lawn journals left. We have them bundled with the Fert Life sticker right there. Click in the link in the description below, go to my website. You can get your official LCN lawn journal. I didn't really do a good job of pitching these last week, but we had 1,500 that we ordered. I think there's about 500 left or so. So if you do want a lawn journal along with the official Fert Life sticker there, click link description below, pick yours up today.
From our good friends at Seed Superstore.
Jake, hey Jake, I need to interrupt you.
What's up?
I don't think we poked enough holes.
Oh.
So I'm gonna poke a few more in the front here. But you go ahead and do that.
Well, at least you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, teamwork, bro.